What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a day of Pokemon chill fun and intense, insane, stressful Mortal Kombat madness at night. That's right. And in between that, our boy Phil had a mental breakdown regarding the tractors in Kino Casino. And of course, now he's on the night stream retconning what marathons mean to him. And this is great. This is great. Our boy Phil wants us to forget nearly, 10 years of streaming history, right? And marathons and begging and so on. He wants us to forget that and act like that never happened. And believe that marathons are for his viewers. And it's not about support. It's about chilling and having fun. That's right. Our boy Phil is trying to retcon 10 years of marathons. So let's see what he had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Sunday, the 2nd of November, 2025. As you can see, the first day of my big month of autumn Thanksgiving festivities. New background, new animations, new lighting. Good stuff, right? So you might ask, well, what went down today? How did it go? Well, it was my return day after having a day off yesterday, and it was the first day post-Halloween. We talked today on the Level 1 podcast about how well the Halloween event went and how I definitely have a different attitude these days towards these marathon events. You know, back in the past, these events essentially were make-or-break events for me, meaning I would be like, well, I really hope that we can have like a great amount of support raised during this marathon. Sometimes I would have big goals set for a marathon. I don't have that anymore. Now I'm doing so well on my regular streams that the marathons are more like a celebration for the viewer, hangout session. If I do get a lot of support, that's all well and good, but it's really not required, nor is it a huge deal. You know, the marathon on Friday, I had a great time. Out of that marathon, we found a bunch of games that I think I probably will play again in the future, maybe even do playthroughs of. That's the most I can ask. To have a good time, to get content for the future is amazing. And so, I certainly hope that you guys felt the same way. We talked about other things as well. We determined what the next DSP...
All right, I'm going to stop it right there, folks, because your boy Doody has to call. Cap, that's right. Full-on cap here. That's a lie. That's not true. That is a retcon. That's probably one of the biggest retcons I've ever heard in my life. I mean, come on, Phil. I love how he has to say recently. You know, recently, and it's been a while since, I've had a change of heart, and I think about marathons differently where I don't have a set goal. Bro, 3 months ago, you were begging for $3,000 because you wanted to beat the 1 day total that you got with Kino Casino when you did the Review Tech USA React. June the King documentary React, okay? So don't act like this is something, this is something that you've been doing for some time. It's all nonsense, Phil. It's been 10 years of harassment. You've been streaming for 10 years, and every month of those 10 years, you've had a marathon or multiple marathons where you've begged for money, okay? And you know what? Fine. You want to say recent? Let's look at what you did this marathon. While, yeah, you didn't set a goal, you begged 124 times, Phil. 124 times. Someone did a video, I think it was Franny, and he posted 124 times you sat there and you begged for money, you begged for support, you bitched and complained at Twitch for not, at Kick for not giving you any subs or Kick money, right? You sat there and you begged for money to drink. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Just because you're not saying anymore, I want more than $3,000 doesn't mean you have a set goal, okay? Because in your eyes, if your marathon stream doesn't make at least $1,000, you're going to be sulky and pissed off. It's the reason why you came on your podcast and had a 30-minute meltdown over detractors in Kino Casino because they were talking about how shitty your marathon was. And it was. It was a shitty marathon. He made $600, but here's the little secret. If you take away the 30% that YouTube takes from that, right, and the PayPal fee and the Kick fee, right, and then you take away how much he had to spend on his liquor and how much he spent on games, which wasn't that much, but he still spent a little bit of money on game. He barely cracked $400. Barely cracked $400. I think Jay Gannon did the breakdown. I think he got like $375 or $380. A little bit more than what he would normally get on a normal day. And he's okay with that. Bullshit, Phil. We know that you're salty and you get pissed off when you don't hit at least $1,000. And the mere fact, bro, that you stayed on till 1 o'clock on your marathon, sitting there begging, your last 30 minutes were you just sitting there waiting to hit the $600 goal because for about 30 minutes you were under $600. Don't get he's so full of shit. Everything he does is about optics. And the optics are, how does this look to my detractors? Will it give detractors a W? Will it give them something to talk about? We live rent-free in his fucking mind. It's so pathetic, man. And I mean, I'm a troll and I'm a detractor of Phil. Even I think it's super pathetic that Phil lives this way. Now, I don't want him to change. You know, keep doing what you're doing, Phil. You know, I'm loving this new Starving Detractor arc. It's great. I mean, I've been getting more content now than I've been getting in the last 2 or 3 months from you, brother. I've been milking you, bro, and it's been great. So don't change anything, Phil. But this retcon is just nonsense. Okay, Phil, everyone can look at your streams. Anyone can go and look at the Raw Phil stream, the marathon, or go look at Franny's video where you're sitting there and you're begging like a crackhead. Begging like a crackhead, acting like, you know, your house just caught on fire. You lost your family. You lost your cat. You lost your truck. You lost your job. You lost everything in this world. And, you know, this marathon, if you don't get money, you know, you're done for. And that's how you act. You act like that with every fucking marathon. And do I really need to highlight the different marathons where you sat there and you were pissed off and sulked because you didn't make any money? Remember the Nintendo Switch marathon where that was just a dud? And you came on and you started ranting and raving and bitching at your viewers for not giving you money. Do I need to highlight the time when you did Viewer's Choice and the Kingdom Come playthrough? And how you had a meltdown that your viewers didn't support you, and of course you blame Kino Casino and the detractors and all the nonsense, but you still had a meltdown over that. So to sit here and actually try to claim that recently or you've had a change of heart is nonsense. It's fucking nonsense, and no one believes it, Phil. Again, it's just 10 years of you harassing your viewers over support and money. It's the only thing you care about. It's the only thing that drives you is money, and it's clear as day. And you sitting here on a daily rap trying to convince people otherwise, it's just nonsense. Again, this is just cope for Phil because I don't know what's going on. You know, maybe he's having a tough time sleeping at night. Maybe Kino Casino on Friday after they roasted the shit out of him. Maybe that was on his brain. I don't know what it was, but he's sitting here coping and essentially trying to retcon something that the internet have seen for over 10 years. Okay? That's just bullshit. Please stop. You sound insane, okay? You sound like Cyrax. I mean, again, I keep comparing this man to Cyrax, and every single day that passes, he becomes more and more like Cyrax. I can't wait for him to start balding. Once he starts balding, oh my god, it's just gonna be. I'm gonna have a difficult time distinguishing the two. Who's who? Good God. All right, let's keep going here.
DSP tries it will be. We talked about the ideas for what we should do for the November marathon, if we even do one, because maybe we won't. We talked about all these factors. You definitely want to check out the show. It was a great fall-themed, relaxing show, okay? Now, one thing that annoyed me today, I spent time yesterday setting up all these new animations for people on Kick. Now, why did I do that? Because my program/service that I use to do pop-ups, for example, it does automatic pop-ups for YouTube. I manually use it to do tip pop-ups. I've now automated it so it does subs on Kick as well. They added the ability to capture, list, and do pop-ups for Kicks. So I said, oh, this is great. Now I can have it all in one screen rather than having 2 bots running and stuff to do it. Let's just have it all in one place. Set up all these animations. All right, I'm not even kidding. Like a ton of extra ones. All this extra work, it doesn't work. The service doesn't track Kicks. It's supposed to. I have it enabled. They don't work. So they miscoded it, I guess. Hopefully they update it and it starts working this week. I do have it in place, but I had to manually play animations for people who did Kicks because sadly the thing wasn't working at all, and it really upset me because obviously the whole idea was I put this work in and that people on Kick would have incentive to do the Kicks, and it didn't work. It sucks. What can you do? Okay. So after the podcast, we jumped into.
I'm going to stop here because yet again, this is more retcon. This is more retcon. He wants you to believe that he was just casually brought it up and oh, it's not a big deal, it's fine, I just mentioned it to my viewers. Nonsense. That was a 15-minute segment of him bitching about Kick. He derailed this whole podcast to let everyone know about this stupid Kick pop-up thing and how you can donate. You notice how he's passionate when it comes to his streaming, his streams and working. How do I put it? The only thing he puts passion into is figure out easy ways to milk his dents out of money. And for some reason, he thinks that these pop-ups, when you contribute, somehow, you know, the dents is like, oh my god, that's great. It doesn't matter that Phil is boring as fuck. It doesn't matter that his content is the same shit over and over again. It doesn't matter that he's a bad gamer. It doesn't matter that he's an belligerent asshole. No. I get pop-ups for my donations, and people just want to throw money at me because I get a pop-up. He literally thinks this. And in his brain, because kick support is just dried completely the fuck up. Just dried up. He thinks being able to do pop-up for kicks is going to save the business. Literally, this man is insane, Phil. I mean, this man Phil is literally insane. You know what will help you, Phil? How about doing better game content? How about creating newer segments? How about not doing the same thing? How about actually giving your viewers some incentive instead of you eating food when you get $1,500 bucks? How about doing a giveaway? How about giving away gift cards? How about doing, member lobbies or something, or sub lobbies? Do that, Phil. But no, God, no, nope, can't do that. I'll just give you an NFT, which you'll give me money for. That's right. That's essentially what it is, an NFT. And he works. He puts work in, but it's always on the lamest things to try to get money. Oh, $20 to name a Pokemon. That's right. Oh, that's a lot of hard work there. Give me $20 and I'll let you name a Pokemon. You know, throw 10,000 kicks at me and I'll give you a cool animation. Fuck out of here, bro. It's lame as shit. God, he's super lame. And then, yeah, he just ranted and raved and started blaming Kick. And I'm assuming what it is Kick probably put in the Kick probably coded it, but they didn't turn it on because they're probably doing testing on the background. That's why. They just didn't want to turn it on haphazardly and just say, okay, let's see if it works. They probably coded it, put everything in. They're probably doing testing. And then once it's good and once it's legit, they'll probably roll it out to a few streamers, bigger streamers, right? And then once everything good, they'll make it site-wide. But Phil can't wait because he needs to be able to track kicks. Because, of course, you know, that's going to save his business. Good God, man. This guy is just pathetic, man. He's so lame. So lame. But again, I highlight this point because he talked about how he doesn't care about support on the marathon. It's just a reward for his viewers. Sure, Phil. Yeah, that's why you go off for 15 minutes complaining about the kick pop-ups and how, you know, you can't acknowledge your dents when they contribute. Sure, Phil. I'm pretty positive you can give two shits about money, right? Get the fuck out of here, man. This guy is he's the worst, man. He really is. And it's so lame. It's just so lame. I'm gonna keep going on here because I want to see if he does bring up Kino Casino and detractors. If not, I think I'm done. I'm done with this video, but let's see if he brings it up.
To Pokemon Legends ZA. Today, we took on 3 giant Mega Evolution Pokemon in boss fights. We caught a bunch of new Pokemon from the wild areas. We named a bunch of Pokemon because people contributed to the stream and decided to name Pokemon and put them in my party for today. And lastly, we grinded against a bunch of the human trainers to earn enough points to get our next challenge ticket so we could get to our next rank. Like the food didn't taste good, but I think they screwed it up. And to get your full explanation, you guys were shocked at how good it was. Over an hour. That's how hard this game is, okay? This was the game that actually... Look, I actually did a few fatalities with this character, Raiko, and I was doing some combos.
All right, no one cares,
Phil.
Phil.
I really don't. Sub-Zero. And
no one cares.
No podcast. Instead of the podcast...
Okay, he's coping about Mortal Kombat. No one gives a shit. Phil, you suck. You suck in Mortal Kombat. Just own it and move on, okay? And the funny thing about Mortal Kombat is he refused to play online. That's right. He refused to play online because he knew he was going to get his ass kicked. And he would sit there and have to spend his whole day complaining about how someone cheated because of lag, right? He didn't do that. He decided to lie and claim that the AI was dropping his inputs, just like everything else. Again, no one gives a shit. No one cares. Anyway, folks, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got nothing better to do, Doody will be streaming at 10 o'clock. Come check it out. We'll talk more about his meltdown, which he didn't talk about here in his daily wrap, and we'll have some fun. Peace out, everyone.